Oh, happy 2014 YouTube. I'm Thalia Onyx and welcome to my YouTube channel. You haven't watched any of my videos before, or if you have, please, please, please subscribe to my channel and continue to watch my videos. I try really hard to put out information through this medium, and I feel like I'm not getting as many views as I could be. But it's not going to stop me. I'm still going to make videos like today. Today's video is going to be talking about energy. And the reason that I'm going to talk about energy today is because I am currently working through The Inner Temple of Witchcraft by Christopher Penczak, and I am doing the chapter / lesson about energy. It's the first lesson in the book, where he talks about ways of feeling energy and manipulating energy and seeing auras and feeling them, and also different types of energy. So when it comes to energy, especially personal energy, there's lots of different ways that you can feel your own energy. For me, I know that I'm pushing energy out of myself when like all of the hair on my arm stands up, or when I'm purposely trying to feel it. To me it feels like magnets, but they're pushing away, so it's like the two positive ends of a magnet being pushed together, and it creates this field of energy that feels different than the energy around you. And through working this lesson, he asks you to sit and rub your hands together and then just feel the energy between them. And I think that that's a very valid exercise, but I also think that you should try to do it without rubbing your hands together, and realizing the differences and things like that, because I don't necessarily think you need to rub your hands together like this to feel energy. I think maybe it helps when you're new to it, but it also is kind of superfluous. In my opinion, it's not necessary. But other than that, I think it's a completely valid practice, and I've been doing it as much as I can. I also like the ball of energy thing that he gets to, because you can learn about seeing energy that's not necessarily visible. Because I don't think energy is visible. I don't think you can create the energy in between your hands and then just see it. Like it's concretely there. It's just not something that's going to happen. So the idea that you can manipulate it but not see it is something that I think needs to be established early in your pagan practice. You need to learn that just because you can't see it doesn't mean you can't affect it. Because if you don't have that base, then you're never going to be able to accomplish anything in your spell work or anything, because you don't have the faith or the force of your will to know that it's actually happening the way you want it to. So that's pretty much what I gained from that part of the lesson. The other part of the lesson talks about states of consciousness, which is something that I've always found very, very fascinating. I've always been interested in the levels of brain activity that a person's brain has, and the differences in them and the states that they cause. Through going through this lesson, I learned that there are 7 levels of consciousness that your brain accesses based on the amount of energy being transferred in the form of hertz. Beta level is the normal waking consciousness level. It's when you're basically just normal. You're awake, you're doing normal day-to-day things. Nothing really fancy is going on. Alpha level is, he calls it relaxed yet aware. When you meditate, when you've really calmed yourself down in your meditation, you've entered an alpha level of consciousness, and you have, in this state of consciousness, you have a greater connection with your psychic mind. And what I found really interesting is that accelerated learning occurs in this state. And I was wondering when I was reading that, then why is school so stressful? If they want you to learn well, they should present the material in a more relaxed and open environment. That thought just crossed my mind a couple of times. The next level is theta. Theta waves enter you into a deeper meditative state where you have a strong connection with the divine, and it's about 4 to 9 hertz. You also enter the state during sleep when you're really, really into deep, deep sleep, which is why deeper, like shamanic travel meditations seem kind of like dreams, because essentially in brainwave function they are. Your brain's doing the same thing it does when you dream. Delta is the deep sleep, trance, and coma state, which you really can't enter unless you've been through almost a lifetime of discipline training, at least consciously. You don't want to get into a situation where you enter this state if you're not doing it consciously, and the only way to do that is having been trained and really, really dedicating your life to it. Which is, I know for a fact that in my life I will never reach that state, and I'm okay with that, because I don't need to reach that state, at least not in this lifetime. The next state is high beta. It's in 16 to 30 hertz, so it's just over the average normal waking consciousness level, and it's extreme alertness. It's kind of like when you have an adrenaline rush going on, and you can reach the state through the use of substances, or adrenaline included as one of the substances, or through extreme stress, anxiety, bringing your heart rate up a lot, can cause you to enter that state. The next state is K complex, and that's like a eureka kind of thing, and it occurs at 30 to 35 hertz. It's not something that a lot of people experience. It's kind of like an epiphany when you you experience divine inspiration is what it is. It's when you're touched by the divine for just a little bit of time. That's when your brain reaches the levels of K complex. Super high beta is the highest brain state, and it has the widest range. It's from 35 to 150 hertz. It's a lot of energy going through your brain right there. This is when somewhat uncontrollable spiritual experiences occur, like big out-of-body experiences, strong crown chakra, chakra, I learned it's pronounced that way from Cute Witch the other day, chakra activations occur. So whenever you're activating your crown chakra or having a really strong out-of-body experience, that's most likely what level your brain is functioning at. Your brain is functioning at super high beta at those times. That's what I learned from the first lesson from this book, and I'm really, really excited to continue through the book. I actually am going to start lesson 2 in 2 days. And once I start that and get through reading it, because it's a relatively short lesson, I think, if I remember correctly, it'll be done before the end of January. I'll make a video about my experience with that. And so far, so good. I've been sticking to my schedule of when I'm going to do things and when I'm not going to do things. The only thing I haven't been able to do that I wanted to do from the first lesson is the earth walk, and that's just because every day I have time that I plan to do it, it rains or it's like 12 degrees, and I just kind of psych myself out. I have to do it. Once I get it done once, it'll happen, but the weather has been against me doing it, and I guess I just haven't dedicated myself to freezing enough to do it when it's 12 degrees, or to getting sick when it's like raining outside, like raining a lot, not just drizzling, but like storming. So I will do that, And once I do that, I'll be able to talk more about the differences in energy types, because I haven't really had a lot of the experience with the earth and sky energy that you get through that exercise. So once that happens, I'll be able to talk more about that. And until then, have a nice day, everyone, and blessed be. Mwah.